Good morning, everyone, and please help me welcome April's featured author for the Cozy Mystery Book Club, Shéa MacLeod. Hi,
Hello.
Shea.
Hi.
Shea MacLeod is a USA Today best-selling author of cozy mysteries and paranormal women's fiction. If you're in the club, you've already had the opportunity to read not one, but two books from Shea. Lady Rample Steps Out and Lady Rample Spies a Clue. Books one and two of the Lady Rample mysteries set in jazz era London. I love that. That just really grabbed me right away when I saw that. Tell us about your author journey. When did you begin writing, and how many books do you have published? And do you have multiple series?
Well, uh,
Loaded question.
yeah. So I've basically been telling stories since before I could even talk. Um, my aunt loves to tell the story about they were driving me to my grandparents' house, and I'm sitting in the back seat in my little car seat, and I'm babbling away. And she said she could tell from the cadence that I was telling myself and anyone who would listen a story,
Oh, how
but
adorable.
I didn't have any like language. Language. It was all just babbling. So, and then once I could have a hold a crayon, I was writing them down and everything. I just didn't really, I think, realize that people wrote those books.
Wow.
I don't know who I
You're so
thought wrote them.
young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the book fairy. It must have been the book fairy. But I was about 10, maybe 11 when I read my first Agatha Christie, and then there were none, which is quite dark, so it might explain a few
Yeah, I
things
was going to
about
say
me.
at that age.
Yeah, it was pretty dark.
Wow.
So, I that's when I realized that, this was an actual career that people had, a job that people did. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So it took me a couple more decades or
Oh,
so
goodness.
before technology came around to where I could, because I had the typical, I wrote a book, submitted it, it got rejected, 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 you know. And then one day I came across Joe Conrath's blog, who he is an indie publisher or an indie writer,
Yes.
and he talked about self-publishing your own books using Kindle, and that's when I realized I could do this all myself. I didn't have to sit around and wait for somebody to give me permission.
That's
And
right.
I figured if he could do it, well, then I could do it. So, yeah, I published my first book in 2011, and I now have, I think, around 90 titles. Um, and
Wow.
and yeah, multiple series. I have, I think I counted six, yeah, six cozy mystery series.
My goodness. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. A
Yeah.
lot of fun reading.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
it's been quite the journey.
So, and you have multiple series.
Hmm.
Do you write specifically in cozy mystery, or is there another genre you dabble in?
Well, I started out actually in like urban fantasy, paranormal romance, and I've done a little sci-fi, a little post-apocalyptic, and I have another pen name where I write women's fiction. But my main focus now with this name under Shéa MacLeod is cozy mystery. And then I write paranormal women's fiction, but it's kind of blended with cozy mystery. So it's both. It's both
Okay.
featured on women and particularly women in midlife, but also it's also very much a mystery. So I kind of blend them both.
So are most of your, it sounds like all of your series are mystery of some sort,
Pretty much. I mean,
even the
even
paranormal women's fiction?
yeah, all the paranormal women's fiction are also all mysteries. So pretty much almost everything I write has, even the urban fantasies, they had a mystery plot line, which is kind of, and it's kind of funny because I love cozy mysteries. It's like my favorite, but I put off writing them for a long time because I was worried I wasn't going to be good at the mystery part. But the thing was, I was always putting a mystery in everything I wrote. So
Oh,
they were always
okay.
having to uncover some secret or, whatever. And so I'm like, oh, I guess I've been doing that all along. So it
So
just
you're
kind of
just
came
kind of
together.
naturally drifting over to
Yeah.
adding a mystery. There
Yes.
has to be a
Yeah.
mystery in there.
I finally got brave and I did it. And Lady Rample was actually my first cozy. No, I take that back. Viola Roberts was that's my first cozy mystery series, and
Oh,
then
that
I
was the
wrote
first
Lady
one.
Rample. But yeah,
I love those covers of Lady Rample mysteries.
they're so fun.
They promise the fun that they
Yeah.
really are. That jazz era in London. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. It's great. If you guys haven't downloaded your free Lady Rample mysteries, run over there. Okay, after the interview, run over there and get those books. Okay. If the Lady Rample mysteries series was picked up for television, wouldn't that be awesome?
Mm.
What actress would you want to play Lady Rample?
Well, my first when I first came up with Lady Rample, like the image in my head was kind of Katharine Hepburn, like where she always wore the
Oh,
trousers and
oh, I loved her. Oh my God.
yes, and then kind of crossed her with Myrna Loy, who had that sort of snappy dialogue and that sort of
Yes.
cute goofiness. So
Oh God.
that was kind of what I had in mind, and it's really hard to come up with an actress these days. But there is an actress named Nancy Carroll who plays Lady Felicia in the new Father Brown mysteries that are
Yes.
on. I think they're on BritBox or maybe it's Acorn. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
she's got that kind of sort of energy that I think for me that Lady Rample has. Although she's a little on the slender side. Lady Rample's a little bit more voluptuous, but
More voluptuous.
yes. So, but she definitely has that
Like real
energy.
women.
Yeah. She's got the boobs, she's got the hips, she's like,
Yes.
and she's trying to fit into like the 1930s like sleek line of the gowns
Mm,
that they had and
yeah.
yeah, so
Great. No waist. The waist was dropped down to the hips, I think,
yeah,
if
so
I'm right.
she's always having to find stuff that, looks good.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Do you read cozy mysteries yourself? If yes, what are some authors you enjoy?
These days I probably like watch more cozy mysteries than read them, although I do still read them, but I really enjoy like watching them on the screen. So like, like I said, Father Brown, Madame Blanc, My Life is Murder, like all these different shows that just embody the cozy mystery. And I love being able to just kind of relax for an hour and watch the cozy mystery. But when I read, I love like Nancy Warren, Emma Jameson, of course, Agatha Christie. So I read a lot. So I read a lot of genres, but those are probably my favorites. Yeah,
That sounds great. I know that I'm kind of partial to watching too.
yeah. Like I'm rewatching right now a show called Rosemary and Thyme, which was
Oh,
it's a British cozy mystery
I
series.
haven't tried that. I
Oh,
need to
it's
try
really
that.
cute. These two, they're like in their middle aged, and they start this gardening business. So they go around to all these stately homes and work on the gardens, and then of course, inevitably stumble across a dead body, and
Of course. Of course.
and then hijinks ensue.
You run into
So
dead bodies all the time.
yeah, it's quite funny because they do get themselves into some situations.
But if they're going into stately gardens, now I know
Hmm.
I have to watch.
Oh, for sure. And
Oh yeah, the
they
gardens. I gotta
do
see
eventually do some like they do some there's a few like I think they have a couple episodes where they're in France and then like one where they're in Italy again in these beautiful gardens of these gorgeous manor houses or whatever.
that. I gotta see it.
And so I mean, it's just really fun.
I wasn't supposed to do this in an interview, but I'm gonna write this down. What is the name of that show?
It's called Rosemary and Thyme, and I think it's on BritBox, but it could be Acorn. And get my I go through Prime and then pay for the um, subscription or I'm
True crime.
pretty sure it's Acorn,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm not sure.
Got it.
Yes, but definitely it is like there's 3 seasons and they're just so good. They're
Oh,
just great. They're just great
sounds
viewing.
awesome. See, these are the reasons we all love cozy mysteries so much. Oh, it
Yes.
takes us to fun places. We
Mm-hmm.
get to discover bodies around things we
Mm-hmm.
like gardens
Yeah, exactly.
or cupcakes or kitties and puppies. I mean,
Yes, you know.
I don't know what this thing is that we like to discover bodies around all these cute things that we love, but
I
it's
know.
probably
And
fun.
then the puzzles of trying to figure out who done it,
Yes,
and
it's the
why.
puzzle.
Yeah,
That's the fun part of it.
definitely.
So tell us, what are your plans for 2024? How
Mm,
many books do you plan on releasing? And will there be more from the Lady Rample series?
that is the question. I always have a tendency to have, eyes bigger than my plate. I always want to do way more than is humanly possible.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
but my goal is to get at least 3 cozies out this year. Right now, I'm working on one of the paranormal cozies, but then I think the next one will be it's going to be in the Lady Rample series, but it's a little bit of a spin-off in that instead of focusing on Lady Rample, I'm going to be
Mhm.
focusing on her Aunt Buddy and her friend Louise, who are they're in their 60s. Um, Louise has a little dog named Peaches, and they just everywhere they go, they get into some shenanigans. Like
Of course they do.
absolute shenanigans. And so I thought, a lot of my readers really like these characters, especially Aunt Buddy. And I thought, wouldn't it be hilarious if Aunt Buddy and Louise go off on some like holiday and then get into shenanigans as usual, and then Lady Rample has to like arrive and rescue them, but it's from
Yes,
like their
rescue.
point of yeah,
From
it's
their
from
point of
their
view.
point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've actually had the cover for a while. I just haven't had the chance to write the story, but the story is kind of starting to like bubble away in there,
Uh-huh.
and that's when I know it's ready. So um I
And the
will be
cover helps.
Yes, and so I'll be putting that out this year for sure. And then I'm also hoping to get an Edwina Gale, which is another paranormal mystery featuring a 60-something-year-old witch. So, and I would like to do more, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, oh, this sounds like so much fun. There's a lot for us to look forward to.
A lot for
So,
me to look forward to.
especially
I
you.
often don't know what's going to happen until I write the book.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the two free books. Lady Rample Steps Out and Lady Rample Spies a Clue.
Hmm.
First, the settings. Tell us about the settings.
Well, the first book is set in London, kind of in sort of like the Mayfair area. And most of the action, if you will, takes place at a jazz club. So that's where Lady Rample runs into her very first dead body and gets involved in trying to solve the crime. And then Lady Rample Spies a Clue actually takes place at a stately manor house out in the English countryside. And there are spies involved, of course, hence the little play on words for the title.
Spies a
And
Clue. Yeah.
yeah, she spies a clue. Yeah, so there's actual spies involved, and there's all kinds of shenanigans. So the action pretty much takes place um, at the house, at the manor house, in the grounds, and a little bit in the village. So
Tell us
because you have
about
to,
Lady.
sorry, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say you have to stick a church fate in there somewhere. There has to be,
Yes.
yeah, there always has to be a
Well,
church fate. So,
we are in London after all.
yeah.
Tell us about Lady Rample herself. What is her occupation? And is she based on someone you know?
Um, she's in her when the books start out, she's like in her mid 30s. and she is the widow of a wealthy lord. And she doesn't really have an occupation per se, but she does run his investments and whatnot. But that's not really
Okay.
part of the story. That's just kind of mostly what she does is run around and drink cocktails and have cake and solve murders. So that's
A
pretty
woman
much.
after my own heart. Oh my goodness.
I
Yes.
mean, she's not really based on anyone particular. She actually came to me in a dream. I dreamed of her, and I was like, ah, I have to write her. She's gonna. Yes, I have to write these books. Um, you could say, I suppose, that there's maybe a little bit of me in her. Certainly, my love of cocktails and cake.
This is my favorite part, the cocktail routine.
Cocktails and cake, yeah.
So is the series complete? I think you've already mentioned that there's going to be some more.
There's going to be more. I'll keep writing Lady Rample as long as readers keep reading Lady Rample.
Should we read
They
them in order?
I would say they don't have to be read in order. They are written, each one is a standalone mystery. But if you want to get the sort of introduction of all the characters and kind of get to know the progression of the characters and the relationships, it's better to read them in order. Um, but, you know, do as
Okay.
you will.
Well, thank you so much, Shea. Tell us where we can find you and or find your books
Mhm.
and follow you for years to come. Where can we find you?
Well, my website is sheamacloud.com. It's kind of under construction at the minute, but you can go there. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook, and sign up for my newsletter. And all my books are on Amazon. They're on Barnes and Noble. They're on Nook. Pretty much anywhere. That Barnes and Noble is Nook. Kobo,
Okay.
Google Play, like pretty much anywhere you want to buy a book or go to the library. It's available to libraries through like Overdrive and
Yes.
Hoopla. So
We often forget to push the libraries. They're out there, the
yes,
books are there.
absolutely. And the brilliant thing is that it's free to the patrons of the library, and yet authors still get paid. So don't hesitate to check my books out from the library.
Awesome. I'm so glad you guys tuned in to see our interview with Shea MacLeod. And again, if you haven't gotten those books, rush over there and download those. Thank you, Shea.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.